Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the last in our Pete Walker week. It's been a great week, but we're going to look at one more this week. There is some other Pete Walker films I've got which I will review, but I'm not reviewing them this week. I will do them at a later date. But tonight we're looking at one called House of the Mortal Sin, which is another one that I bought from HMV, and I believe is in my collector's sort of a coffin-shaped box set. But before we get on to have a talk about the film, let's have a look at the special features on the disc. So this is the main menu of House of the Immortal Sin. So we're going to have a quick look at the special features. We've got an audio commentary with, once again, Kim Newman and Barry Forshaw. Audio commentary with film critic Sam Dehan. Audio commentary with Peter Walker and moderator Jonathan Rigby. Sympathy of Horror. Interview with director Peter Walker. Actor confessionals. Interview with actors Norman Eshley and Stuart Bevan. And that is the extra features on House of the Mortal Sin. So once again, there's not as many special features on this disc as there was on House of the Whipcord, but I think that's more of a popular film, so that's probably why there's not as much on information on this. But there is still an extra audio commentary, which is pretty cool. So let's talk about the story. So this again is a 1970s British horror film based in a small English town, and it revolves around this priest, and he is a bit of a perv, but we'll get to that in a minute. The film starts off where we see a young girl going back home to her mum and dad's, and she's in tears and crying. And her dad is really concerned as he sees. She just comes in straight away, goes straight up to her room and locks herself in. And she goes to her chest of drawer, gets out her Bible and things, and writes like a note, and then opens her bedroom window. Her mum and dad then sort of come up towards the stairs to see what's going on, because obviously they're very worried. She's just come in with no sort of explanation or anything. And they go knock on her door, but she doesn't reply. So the dad tries to open it, but it's locked. Eventually, he forces it open, and we see the window wide open, and sort of like the breeze sort of ruffling through the curtains. They have a little look around the room, and they cannot see her. So he goes to the window to shut it and looks out, and he sees his daughter there, laying on the ground dead. So she's a teenage woman, and she's thrown herself out the window, committed suicide. And then we cut to another young lady who is like our main lead of the film, and she's sort of like in a daze, crossing the road one day, and she nearly gets knocked over by this different priest who's just come into town, but it's an old friend of theirs, and I think it's an old love interest of her sister or friend or whoever it is. Who live in a shop. And our girl, she goes, she starts talking to him, and they go for a coffee, and they start telling each other the problems they're going through, and he's saying he's got nowhere to live and all this sort of thing, and she's talking about her problems she's had with her boyfriend. And anyway, they go their separate ways, and the young woman goes home to where she lives above this shop, and her boyfriend's there packing his bags and says he's going to leave, so she tells him to go, and he sort of like goes, and she sort of walks out and heads towards the local church because she wants to meet back up with the new priest that's just arrived, but he's not there. And when we go to the church, we're looking, it's a bit of a creepy looking church, and there's people sitting waiting to go for confession, and amongst them is Andrew Sachs, who plays Manuel in 40 Towers. He's sitting there like waiting for his confession. And then it's time for the girl. She wants to go there. She decided to when she realizes the new priest isn't there. She wants to confess this over to the priest that is there, and that's where we meet our main sort of evil priest, if you like. And he's asking her all these questions about her life and about her sexual habits and all this, and he seems to be getting off on it. He's a bit of a perv. He likes the young women, and he's into sort of like their sort of deviant behaviour. But she doesn't want to tell him too much, but she does tell him that she had an abortion and all this, and then she sort of goes out, steams out the church, and the priest says, don't go, come back tomorrow and I'll talk to you. She drops her bag on the way and drops all of her things out. And then she calls one of her friends to go out for a drink, and because she just wants to stop thinking about what's happened of that day. And she goes out with a male friend of hers, and then she comes back to the shop late at night and realises that she doesn't have her front door key. So, but there's a key in the letterbox. Inside the letterbox, they keep a spare key which you can pull out with a string, which is a bit mad and unsafe to do. But she managed to do it, and they get in, and her and the guy go upstairs and listen to music, some Eric Clapton, and have a drink. And then she wants some cigarettes because she's out, because she also dropped those. So she goes out to like a local area to try and get some, while the guy stays in the flat. While he's in the flat, we see like a bit of a giallo sort of thing going on here. We see the black gloves go through the letterbox and take the key out and go into the shop and up to the flat. And then the lad that's there with her gets brutally attacked by, which looks like the priest from the church. And she arrives back and not sure what happened, and she's scared. But then the new priest turns up at the shop with her sister. They've been out for something to eat or drink, and she tells them what's happened, and it all sort of sparks off from there. And this is how the film sort of plays out. We got this perverted killing priest around that is sort of seducing mostly young women, or if there's a young woman he likes and there's like men involved, he's trying to eliminate the men of her life because he wants them to himself. And it plays out in a very creepy way. But there is some quite good kills, and there is some stuff. But although there is a little bit of a slow build up, it does unfold, and it is a great watch. But let's talk about the characters. Again, the characters in this film are really cool. The priest, I hate him. He's just horrible. He's just so slimy, and he's a very well-known British actor who plays the priest. And he plays it really well. He's a good actor, because I actually hate the priest, because he's just so slimy in the way he sort of treats. And you see all these little young kiddies around him as well, and it's very, very unsettling. And you see sometimes like a couple of young children would come out of the room crying and stuff like this, and you just don't know what's been going on and stuff. But the other characters are really cool. The new priest here is really good. He brings like a fresh sort of vibe to the scene. Our main female lead is fantastic. Sheila Keith also makes another appearance in this film as the sort of housemaid to our evil priest. So she's also in the film. She seems to be in all of Pete Walker films. Our main lead's boyfriend, although he's a bit of an arsehole, he plays it really well, and he does try supporting her and finding out what's going on with this priest. Her sister's a little bit wishy-washy. She's sort of like really flirtatious with the new priest that's turned up. I think, like I said, they might have been old sparks, and she's trying to refire that. And as other characters appear in the film, like you'll notice this elderly woman who appears around the church quite a lot in him, and at the sort of masses, and she stares at the priests and things like this. This really weird stuff comes in, but these do unfold throughout the film, which I don't want to tell you because I don't want to spoil any of the film for you, because although the priest is fucking horrible, it is a good watch. So my final verdict for it, I'm going to give this a really great watch and give it an 8 out of 10. It's not a 9 or a 10 out of 10 because it lacks some sort of things on the storyline. It's easy to follow, but because I don't think there's enough offline stories, if you know what I mean, from the main story. We've got our main story and it all sort of evolves around that, where a lot of the other films there's little mini stories going on and which sometimes connect through. It seemed to lack on things like that. And like I said, I didn't like the priest character. I thought he was horrible, but it shows what a good actor is. I'm supposed to not like him. But yeah, it is a really, really cool film. The pluses of this edition, it looks really nice on Blu-ray. It looks really cool. It's a great transfer, and there's some wonderful shots around this small area. I think it's Richmond. I think they're at. There's some nice shots, and there's some typical like 70s London, and things like a Waitrose bag, and all these sort of things that you just think, oh my god, I remember that. And he's like, when she goes to buy her cigarettes, it's in a machine. Where you put your money in and you pull it out. I think I remember those. They used to be always in things like pubs and clubs and stuff like that. But and it's just little things that take you right back. So it is full of nostalgic 70s wonderful Britain, which is fantastic, which is one of the things I love about the film. The acting is really cool, it's stellar, really, really good. Like I said, you're supposed to hate the priest, and I did. And it's some good kills in the film, and it's a really, really cool watch, and the story unfolds at a really sort of like unexpected way, and I absolutely really loved the ending of the film. I thought it was fantastic. House of the Mortal Sin, 8 out of 10. And if you guys seen it, if you have, let me know down below. It's a great little film. It really is. And it's a great way to end off this Pete Walker week. Yes, I could have been obvious and done the cannibal film, Frightmare. But we'll look at that another time. And also we'll look at the other film that I got from this set here. I think I've got which other ones did I pick up? So we reviewed 3. And I've got another 3, haven't I? So I've got Frightmare, Flesh and Blood Show. What was the other one I picked up? House of the Whipcord. Oh yes, of course. Die Screaming Marion with Susan George. So we will look at those. I might do another Pete Walker week in a few weeks' time, or we might just add them to my normal regular reviews. But whatever I do, please check them out and look out for them. I've seen Frightmare before. It's a fantastic film, and we will look at that on my channel. But until then, check out other channels. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Mavie Film, RS Design, Pizzlewell, I Am Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrews, Haunted House, and The Maniac. And a massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves. Look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.